Hi all, welcome to Learn IT. In the previous videos, we learned about AWS API Gateway, Lambda function, and AWS DynamoDB basics. In this video, we will create a AWS DynamoDB table using AWS console. So before we move ahead and create AWS DynamoDB table, let's first understand the AWS DynamoDB capacity units. If we talk about read capacity unit, one read capacity unit is equals to one strongly consistent read per second or two eventually consistent reads per second for an item up to 4 kilobytes in size. To understand difference between strongly consistent reads and eventually consistent reads, please go through my previous video on AWS DynamoDB basics. If you want to have transactional read requests, we need to have 2 times read capacity units to perform 1 read per second for an item up to 4 kilobytes of size. Let's understand this with one example. If we have an item size of 8 kilobytes, we will need 2 read capacity units if we want to perform strongly consistent reads, and we will need 1 read capacity unit if we choose eventually consistent reads, and we will need 4 read capacity units if we want to perform transactional read requests. Transactional read requests requires more capacity because we can perform read requests for multiple objects, multiple items in the same request. Also, while deciding the read and write capacities of our DynamoDB table, any fractional size of the item will be rounded up. For example, if we have an item of 6.5 kilobytes of size, we will need two read capacities if we are considering strongly consistent reads, and it will be rounded up to 8 kilobytes. So we will need 2 read capacity units. And if we have an item of 9 kilobytes of size, then we will need 3 read capacity units because it will be rounded to 12 kilobytes of size. Now let's understand write capacity units. For AWS DynamoDB, one write capacity is equals to 1 write per second for an item of 1 kilobytes of size. This means if we want to write an item of 10 kilobytes of size per second, then we will need 10 write capacity units for our DynamoDB table. And for transactional write requests, we will need double the write capacity units to perform 1 write per second. For example, for an item of size 2 kilobytes, we will need 2 write capacity units to sustain 1 write per second and 4 write capacity units for a transactional write request. We will need extra write capacity units for transactional write requests because we can have multiple items in the same transactional request. Now let's understand all the capacity units when we have a 12 read capacity units and 12 write capacity units for a DynamoDB table. If we talk about strongly consistent reads, we can have a strongly consistent reads of up to 48 kilobytes per second because we have 12 read capacity units, and for each read capacity unit we can read up to 4 kilobytes of data for strongly consistent reads. If we talk about eventually consistent reads, we can read up to 96 kilobytes per second because for eventually consistent reads, we can have 8 kilobytes of data per read capacity. And for transactional read requests, we can read up to 24 kilobytes per second because we have half the read capacity when we talk about transactional read requests. If we talk about write capacity of this table, we can write up to 12 kilobytes per second because we have write capacity of 1 kilobytes and we have 12 write capacity units. And if you want to perform transactional writes, then we can write up to 6 kilobytes per second because for transactional writes we will need more capacity units, more write capacity units, and we will only have half of the write capacity units. Now let's go to AWS console and create our first AWS DynamoDB table. So guys, I have already logged into my AWS console, and now let's go to AWS DynamoDB and create our first DynamoDB table. Let's hit on create table. Let's create a table for users of a learning platform. So I will name it user, and for partition key I'll use user ID, which will be a numeric. Considering a user can have multiple badges on learning platform for multiple courses, we can add a sort key with the badge ID. or we can say a badge. So this will create a composite key with a combination of partition key as user ID and badge name as a sort key. And next we have table settings options. By default, the provisioned capacity is set to 5 read capacity units and 5 write capacity units, and there are no secondary indexes. Also, alarm is set for 80% upper threshold, and by default, encryption at rest is enabled with default encryption type. If we want to update any of these settings, we can uncheck this default setting option and have a look on these options and update these options. So if you want to add any secondary attribute for indexing, we can add an index here. Also, we can update read and write capacity units. For read and write capacity units, we have two options here. The first one is provisioned, that is enabled by default, and the second one is on demand. If we choose on demand, then we don't have to do anything because as per the application usage, it will be handled automatically. If we know the workload of our application, we can go back to provision and we can define the read and write capacity units. To calculate the read and write capacity units, we can use this capacity calculator. And suppose we have an item of average size 8 kilobytes, and if we update this 8 kilobytes of size, and if we want to use strongly consistent reads or eventually consistent reads or transactional reads, we can switch over here. Right now I am going with strongly consistent reads and also with standard write units. If we see here, for read capacity it is showing 2 because we have chosen strongly consistent reads, and for each strongly consistent reads we can read up to 4 kilobytes of data, and we need average item size of 8 kilobytes of data. So we will need two read capacity units. And for write capacity, we are going with standard, that is 1 kilobytes of write per second. So for 8 kilobytes of item, we will need write capacity as 8. If we change it to transactional, then we will need double write capacity units. Now let's go back to standard and update. And if you want to enable auto scaling for your read capacity and write capacity, we can mention the target utilization, post which it will be auto scaled automatically and capacity units will be increased. So we need minimum as 2 read capacity units and maximum as 40,000 units. And same I have applied for write capacity units as well. Also, for auto scaling mode, we will need a IAM role, which we have to mention here to enable auto scaling. If you have any existing role, you can choose here, or you can go with DynamoDB auto scaling service linked role option. And for encryption at rest, we can change the default encryption to KMS key using KMS key if you want, if we have any KMS keys. So right now I am going with default. Now let's hit on create button and create this table. So you can see it has created a user table, and currently it is showing the overview of this table. Now let's go to items and create a new item for this table. So you can see we are getting two options, two attributes here, user ID and badge, and we can update values for these attributes. Let's update user ID as 1 and badge as AWS certified dev. Also, if you want to add any new attribute, you can use this option and insert attribute of any of this type. Let's add a new attribute of type as string, and I am adding a new attribute name, and I am giving value as VJ, and let's save this record. Now you can see here we have inserted one record in our DynamoDB table with user ID as 1, badge as AWS certified dev, and name as VJ. Let's add one more item. For the same badge and name as Ajay. Let's save this record. Now let's try to query this database. You can see it has queried for the partition key as 2. Also, if you want to convert this DynamoDB table as global table, you can go to global tables option here and select other regions to generate your replicas. So here you can select multiple regions, like I am selecting Mumbai region first, and you can create a replica. Likewise, you can add multiple regions and create replicas for your global tables. So guys, today we learned how to create AWS DynamoDB table using AWS console. In the next videos, we will learn how to insert or how to query and scan AWS DynamoDB table from Lambda functions or AWS CLI. Thank you for watching this video. Please join me in the next video.